Hi, how are you doing? My name is Roy Wachira. I am a businessman, father, artist, joker, very many things. But mainly I focus in hospitality, media, and property. So I went to Makini High School, which was part of Makini Academy. That's the first high school, and then one more year in South Africa, in Dublin, for matric in 2003. My high school experience was an interesting experience. I went to Makini predominantly because I wanted to study aviation. Also appreciated the school because it was mixed. I didn't want to just go to like a school that just had only boys. So I enjoyed that. It was interesting because I used to be in the aviation class. It got me a lot of time because I think I was trying to understand myself at that point, but also at the same time got into engineering because we had the lab, so I'd spend a lot of time there making my own things. So I got very used to being by myself, being in the library, studying about aeroplanes, doing this and that. Because at that time I wasn't a cool guy. I was a moderate guy, you know, just like a clown for the class. So sports-wise, basketball and aviation, that's what I focused on in high school. I was the kind of student that in third form, our headmaster came to my class and was shocked to still find me in school. He assumed he had expelled me in Form 1, but I was still there. So I was cheeky. I was very, very cheeky. I was the guy who puts, there's once I put like barutis inside the desk, put paper. So me and my guy really were devising ways. And then we went to assembly. So we had put enough paper to burn so that the crackers can go off just when we're in assembly, and it worked. So let's just say there's a lot of those kind of like, not like just cheeky, small little twisted things that we used to enjoy doing. My favorite subject was aviation, aviation engineering, understanding the theory of flight, understanding why things work. So everybody had wanted to go to Mangu, wanted to do aviation. For some of us who didn't manage to cut it or make it to Mangu, now it was like when we are at Makini, we managed to go to Mangu and win awards that they should have won. That was very rewarding. Best experience, I topped aviation in the whole of Kenya. Subject that gave me the most challenge was Swahili. Both in KCPE and KCSE, I just had problems with that thing. It always used to lower my score. I don't understand why Jima, Ngelias, why all those things mattered. And I could speak Swahili better than most, but I couldn't articulate it in the way the teacher wanted it to be. That was really hard. My favorite teacher in high school was Julius Asiro. He's our aviation teacher. He is such an amazing guy because Asiro was part of he was in the Air Force, Kenya Air Force, as an engineer. One of the most amazing things about Mr. Asiro, we were taught aviation from his head. He used to dictate the notes from his head. He had like a photographic memory. He would remember the words exactly as they were said. And when I go back to the library and I pick a book written by Oxford or whatever on aviation, fundamentals of flight were exactly how he stated it. He used to remember everything. It was in his head, every single, and that's I think one of the things that really made aviation so crazy, because in between he'll tell us stories about crazy things they did in the Air Force, all these many things. So he was an adventurer, you know, and also he had knowledge. And aviation class was never just about aviation. It was also about ideals of life, ideals about society. We would talk, and it was not one way. It was always a back and forth where he also used to try and learn from us what we knew. Lowest moments in high school, there were too many. Hey, high school was bad for me. I remember in Form 2 I wanted to commit suicide. Actually, I planned it. There's a lot that happened because as you're getting into teenagehood and there's a lot of, as you go into high school, there's a lot of expectations from your parents. You're also developing as a person. Your friends are also developing as a person. You're trying to find your own identity that's also mixed up with a lot of expectations from many people, what they need from you, what society needs from you. So it can get very confusing, very lonely. If also some things are not working out, your grades for school aren't so great. So obviously there's a lot of pressure from the house, from the home, for you to perform, for you to get better. And at that point it can be a lot for somebody, and you might question why you need to keep on doing this. And that happened a lot. It reaches a point where your love for what you want to be versus your love for what you are, one is less than the other. High school, I think life skills, I'd say dealing with a crowd, dealing with people, dealing with talking to people, because I used to present a lot. You had to present a lot. And then just dealing with different spheres of people who think differently, understanding the dynamics of how society is, because it's a bit of a society thing. Sometimes you're up because of something, and sometimes you can get even because of other things. So the skills that I've appreciated that they taught in high school were the skills that related to understanding self. I think more people need to understand self. What is self? In Kenya, in the society we're in, no one understands self. We're focused on, if you go and read about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, self is top. Self is the pinnacle of where you want to be. People like Nelson Mandela, all the great names, Mother Teresa, the great names of the people that we follow and know, they reach the point at the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is just being able to understand self. And they came away from physical needs, social needs, all those many needs. So I think also kids or guys, they need to be preaching and understanding this, because a lot of people think material things are what get you, that's it. So that's one thing that I think is not championed, especially here in Kenya. Everybody wants to focus on making money, but at the end of it, you can't eat money. You can't go with it, you leave it here. What is most important is the impact that you leave on society, how you left the place. Did you leave it better than what it was before? And I think more people need to reach a point where they feel like at any given time, since they've understood themselves and they've done what they were meant to do on this earth, they're happy to go.